I could easily just sit here and say I'm the greatest player to ever play the game, you know, with what I have accomplished on the football field. But I'm just not that type of person. I had that hunger, that desire to want to be successful, and I was not going to let anything stand in my way.
I think if people want to picture a small southern town in the deep South, very few stoplights, if any, a town of a few hundred people, maybe 1,000. Now take that image and go about 10 times smaller, and that's Crawford, Mississippi. Jerry and his family and his siblings actually lived outside of Crawford.
Standing still was not an option for Jerry Rice in Mississippi. Wherever he was going to run.
He's running. He's the running little kid they ever see.
I was not playing football, basketball, or anything, but I would run 5 miles or more, and my mom would look at me and she would say, "Son, why are you doing this?" And I didn't know. Then I would chase horses. If I caught the horse, then I could ride the horse the rest of the day.
Jerry's favorite horse was named Pete. He ride like a Cadillac, ride just like a car. That was the smoothest riding horse I ever seen.
And he was the fastest horse in the community. But it took me like 45 minutes to an hour to run him down. But once I caught him, then I had him the rest of the day, and nobody wanted to race me.
Growing up in Crawford was not all fun and games, mainly because of Joe Rice, Jerry's father. Joe was a hard-working man who ingrained that trait into his children.
They had to do everything right. Jerry told me a story once. He said, I had to do what I was told to do, like I was told to do it.
My dad, Joe Nathan Rice, was a very tough man, very tough guy, one of those guys that didn't say, I love you. And my father was a brick mason, and he would take me to work with him during the summer.
We got a certain age, Dad believed in putting us to work. It wasn't no, you're gonna get up and you're going to work today. It's a tough job, it's hot, it's dirty, it's just a lot of hard work in it. And you gotta be real physical to be able to handle it.
My job was to make sure that my father had bricks to lay. If I was up on the scaffold, I had to catch the bricks.
We had to catch them. Sometimes 2, I think we have throwed up high 3, maybe 4 at a time.
As long as I did my job where he had bricks to lay, everything went smoothly. I prided myself on trying to catch everything. If you didn't do that, then you're going to get behind schedule. And whenever you get behind schedule, you lose money because you have another job that you have to get to. And I had a job to do. And if I didn't do my job the way he wanted me to do it, then I would get disciplined. It just taught me to work hard, and I just really appreciate everything. I didn't want to do what my father did. It's a great livelihood, but I just felt like it was way too much work. I wanted to make it to the NFL, then just make life a lot better for my family. Archie Cooley told me that they were going to be doing some great things with a wide open run and shoot offense. So I felt Mississippi Valley State University gave me the best opportunity to showcase what I could do.
Jerry's work habits were very developed when he came to Mississippi Valley because of his father. He didn't mind practicing because he wanted to become a #1 draft choice in the NFL. His hand was something. He could catch most things because you can catch a brick all day. It's got to condition your fingers to catching anything that hit it. He had very long fingers. He always caught the ball with his hand. And that was a good sign that he could be a good receiver.
Jerry Rice became the centerpiece of Archie Cooley's innovative no-huddle offense. With rocket arm quarterback Willie Totten launching passes into orbit, the Delta Devils grew into an unstoppable scoring machine, dubbed the Satellite Express.
Touchdown, Mississippi Valley, Jerry Rice.
When opponents began to double-team Rice, Cooley had his star receiver impersonate teammate Ron Hill.
I'm gonna change Rice's jersey, give it to Hill, and he give him Hill's jersey.
He just felt like if I put on a different jersey, that would, throw them off just a little bit. That was hard because, my number is 88, and to put on something like 45, it didn't feel good.
Now they be covering Hill as Rice. 45 catching all touchdown passes over here, coach. This must be Rice over here. But it was too late. We had them 36-0 at the first quarter.
As a senior, Rice scored 28 touchdowns. During his career, Rice broke 18 Division I AA records. But NFL scouts were leery of his small school pedigree.
This guy from San Diego Chargers said, yeah, I'm gonna find something wrong with Jerry Rice. I said, mighty fine, but I'm gonna say this to you. You gonna get your ass whooped a minute day by that Jerry Rice.
Not everyone was skeptical. 49ers head coach Bill Walsh saw Rice's potential the first time he watched him play.
He was overnight playing the Houston Oilers, and it was a Saturday night before the game, and he was bored, and he turned on the local news, and they were playing the highlights, and he couldn't believe this one guy was lighting it on fire.
In last night's contest, Jerry Rice had 4 catches for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns against TSU, as he and quarterback Willie Totten have combined for an outstanding year.
The book said he only ran a 4.7 40. But what my dad saw was that he had tremendous speed from 15 yards to 50 yards, like he'd never seen before. My dad was already crafting plays before they drafted him on what he could do in this West Coast offense.
He just was in love with him. So we made a deal with the Patriots to jump to number 16 and pick the greatest football player I really believe that ever has played the game.
16th pick in the first round. Wide receiver, Jerry Rice, Mississippi Valley.
I got drafted. I can't believe I got drafted. So I'm running around the place, and I'm so excited. And I thought about my family.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Now I can help my family, giving my parents a home, my brothers, my sisters.
The whole family was just shy. You can imagine coming, it's just like from rags to riches for us.
Even Joe Rice, the father who rarely uttered an encouraging word, showed his appreciation.
He just told me good luck and that he was proud of me. And those words, that he was proud of me, it meant the world to me.
Within hours, Rice was on a plane for the first time in his life, headed to San Francisco to join a team that won 2 of the last 4 Super Bowls.
Getting off that plane and dealing with the media, very intimidating. And, I felt like I wanted to go back on just to get away from everything. It just terrified me to death. I was scared because I had never seen a city as big as San Francisco. And being around so many great players, I was like, will I fit in?
They used to make fun of him a lot for his accent, for being country, and for not understanding the ways of urban society.
We tease about him to this day that he kept his money in a cassette deck in the trunk of his car.
He did have a unique haircut. And there were nicknames. Some people called him Fifi.
Bert from Bert and Ernie. So. The first time I stepped on the field, everything was just so neat, and it was just cut perfectly. I'm like, wow, so they want us to run routes on this? Because I was used to something totally different. At Mississippi Valley State, you had dirt. You didn't have all that nice grass.
Off the field, Rice had a lot to learn. On it, he looked like a seasoned pro.
Eric Wright and Ronnie Lott, Carlton Williamson, and Dwight Hicks. As far as that secondary is concerned, it has to go down in history as one of the best of all time. And Jerry was running by him all the time for long touchdown receptions, and it was actually demoralizing.
Going to the pros, what goals have you set for yourself?
Well, number one, I would like to be the all-time receiver.
The brilliance Rice displayed in his first camp didn't carry over to the regular season. The kid who grew up catching bricks suddenly had hands of stone.
Writers were keeping track of how many passes he was dropping and saying what a flop he was.
He was just pressing. He was pressing so hard that instead of looking the ball in, he wanted to score a touchdown. He wanted to prove everybody that the 49ers made the right move to pick him.
I felt like I let my parents down, Bill Walsh down, Crawford, Mississippi. I just emotionally just broke down. And I was in the locker and I was just crying like a baby.
We wondered, was the stage too big? Could this young, talented athlete from this remote program step into the NFL and become a star?